Fortunate they don't really like the game very much, but
Yeah, happens. Yeah, casual talking.
so
No problem. Uh-oh.
All right, you guys hear me now. All right, guys, welcome to the FGC PogCast. Once again, you already know what time it is. We used to do the news, but now we have guests. Last time before I unfortunately caught COVID, we had the homie Shinkinsu, we had IMC4, Evil Commentator, and now we have, which you already saw him because I was muted. Got young ElvenShadow here. Say hello, ElvenShadow.
Young, I don't know about that. What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so oh, they're clapping in the chat. All right, nice.
Nice.
So I do want to say once again, I say this to all our guests, but I'm definitely glad that you showed up. I know my channel's not the biggest, but I am glad that you are supporting the grassroots efforts, and you've played in a few of my tournaments as well and hung out there and stuff. So I'm definitely glad to see a titan of industry such as yourself support your boy. Definitely appreciate that. Definitely thank you for being here. Is there anything you want to say before we get started with the interview or anything like that?
Just thanks for hosting all those events like so consistently. Always appreciate any TOs out there who want to throw events and stuff. It's a lot of fun playing in them when I can. So thank you for that, and thanks for having me on the show.
Awesome. All right, so Pon, you want to get us started with a question?
Sure, we can start up with some more interesting. Since you work with Frosty Faustings, one of the bigger tournaments in my eyes, at least, it should mean that there's a whole lot of maintenance and work that goes into it. Do you feel like it's something that you've gotten used to over the years, or do you feel like it's still like a big cake to deal with?
Yeah, I mean, so we've gotten things down kind of well in terms of like constant formula how we do things, but it's always a big task to take on every year, and it's just very time consuming and a lot of work. Towards the end of every year, like usually around this time of year is when we really start putting a lot of work into it, and that pretty much will just go all the way up until January until the event. So it's not like every day, all day, it's all I'm doing, but as it gets closer to the event, it kind of becomes that, and I really can't compete very much around the time
Yeah.
when it's coming up because I don't really have time to really play a lot. But I've been focusing on Strive and trying to get good at it lately, and I just now am really starting to dig into some of the event prep and things like that. So yeah, we are, but we're in the thick of it now, and it's it's a lot of work, but I think in the end, every year when it's over, it feels good, and a lot of people seem to be happy about it. So it seems like it's worth it. Plus, we have to do it because we have signed contracts. So
yeah, you can't back out. Can't be like,
Yeah.
what, man?
Too late now.
Do or die. So the event's happening.
Yeah,
True
real
story.
So I wanna like let's go back in time, right? How did the idea for Frosty Faustings come about? How did it start? Like, what was little young guy ElvenShadow? What made you get into this? Like, because I'm pretty sure you were probably into Plus R, into Guilty Gear. Like, how did that go from I like fighting games to I'm just gonna organize my own shit?
Yeah, sure. Well, Frosty Faustings isn't even the first tournament I ever ran, but when I first started playing Guilty Gear, which was like XX in 2002, I was going to UIC university, and I lived in the dorms, and there was like this lounge that was like available to anyone who lives in the dorms to like use. And so I would use that to throw tournaments sometimes. And I ran some Guilty Gear tournaments, some Soul Calibur 2 tournaments in there and stuff. And so I already had a little bit of experience running events. I also helped out run some of the events at Nickel City back in the day, like Midwest Challenge and whatnot. And I moved to Japan in 2007. And when I came to visit, I would visit, during the holidays, like to see my family and my friends and stuff. And like I wanted to get games in with people, but like there was just nothing happening. There was no events going on. And I was only there for like 2 weeks, right? So there's just whatever's going on is what's going on. So I said, well, that sucks, next time I come, in the following holiday season, I'm like, I'm just gonna run my own tournament, and then everyone, get everyone to come out, and then it's a good way to just get games in with everybody. So I did. It was like, I think it was either December of 2008 or January of 2009. I forget, because in the early days of Frosty, the dates weren't always as consistent. But yeah, it was around that time when I ran the first one. It was just at like this hotel. We just had like a small kind of couple conference room size. It wasn't very huge. It was like about 100 people showed up, and we ran probably, I think, like 8 different games or something. Guilty Gear being the main focus, but we ran all kinds of stuff. And it was just kind of like, all right, guys, like, let's just bring your setups. And then whoever wants to run what, we'll do it. And we streamed it, and it was, or no, we didn't actually stream it. This was like before streaming was even a thing. So like, yeah, we didn't even have a stream back then. So it was just us playing. It was fun times though. And then I just kept doing it. Every year I'd come back, and people liked the first one. So I was like, all right, let's just do it again. And I just kept doing it, and it got bigger and bigger.
Oh, well, there you go.
And here we are. And it's going to be Frosty Faustings 14 coming up in 2022. And, now I live here again in Chicago. I moved back in 2014. So I've still just been running the event regardless. But yeah, the reason why it started is just because I wanted to play games with people. That's really it.
That's very
a motivator. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's like super interesting because that's kind of somewhat similar to why I started the whole like PC League thing, because like I did an online tournament, because my story was like I didn't play fighting games for a long time because I was like living in America, like working, living life and shit. And when I moved to France, that's when I picked up fighting games again, and I picked up MK, and I did an MK tournament. It lasted like 6 hours, and the guy basically was like, I'm just doing this for Twitter clout, dog. I'm just doing this to get views. And I was just like, bruh, like this tournament lasted so many hours, and there was like an hour in between every game, and it was just it was just so horribly managed. And I was like, is this what PC tournaments are like? Because I saw like Evo and stuff, like I saw all the high production value console based tournaments, but all the PC tournaments at the time were kind of like shit, so I was like, I guess I could do that, I'll do that. And that way I can always get games and I don't have to play ranked, because I hate playing ranked. So I was like, hey, good players come to me, I get to play them, I don't have to play ranked, win-win, so it's the same kind of thing. But my next question is, what challenges do you face as a CEO doing offline? I have no experience. I would like to know this as well.
There's a whole list of challenges, but well, where do I start? There's a lot of things you have to factor in. I mean, the biggest challenge is, I would say, making sure you can afford to run the event. Like, people don't know, but like running a big major event is there's a lot of money involved. It's very costly. Like, renting the venue is not cheap. All the hiring all the people that need to be paid, and the staff and the streamers and the commentators, and getting enough just volunteers to help run brackets, and just it's a huge undertaking. And like, when you run an event that has like 30 different tournaments, historically we've ran around 30 so different individual tournaments at Frosty every year. Juggling the schedule is really rough, especially when you're trying to cram it into 2 days, because most majors are 3. We always ran it as 2 days, and with like a bonus day, like the after party, but it's the actual brackets finish in 2 days, some are in 1 day. So it depends in the game. So trying to reduce overlap with like players who are playing in multiple brackets that might hold things up, you have to schedule around that. Just coming up with who's streaming what, the order of everything, and making sure you have enough space, like then how many setups you're going to be able to fit in there, and like, maximizing the layout of the venue and stuff.
Jesus Christ, sounds massive undertaking.
It's a lot of work, I can tell.
Yeah, there's a whole other side to it. Like, running an online tournament sure takes plenty of work as well, but it's like there's a whole other piece to running an offline event that doesn't exist in the online one, right? So you have to think about all those things, and the setup, it just takes such a long time, and tear down and everything. It's just a lot of.
I used to be in the band. I know about that setup, tear down, sound check live.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's similar to that. Renting the venue or booking the venue, you got to make sure you sell enough tickets, or else they're going to charge you. I'm pretty sure it's probably similar to that, right? Like, type thing, like hotels. Like I remember, like if you wanted to rent out a conference room, you had to make sure that a certain number of people showed up, or they're gonna bill you for the excess or or whatever you didn't fill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like that.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. All right. So, Pawn, you have a question?
If you like, we can move on to other stuff as well. Since you've been playing a lot of Guilty Gear, since you said like double XX, I get a feeling that you also played some Soul Calibur 2 that you said before. Was there any other current game right now that you're looking or playing with besides Strive at the moment?
Well, I'm still playing Plus R as well. I've been focusing mostly on Strive, but I've been entering like Plus R tournament like once a week maybe. Just because I still enjoy the game and it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm trying to get better at Strive. As far as other games go, I mean, the problem is in the current state of things, it's hard to play anything that doesn't have good netcode, right?
Facts.
True that.
Facts.
So, like, I just saw Biking got revealed for Sam Show today, right? And I was like, oh, Biking looks hype. Like, I kind of want to play Sam Show again because I was playing it for a bit before the pandemic. But it's like,
listen, I got stories about Sam Show, man.
Problem, yeah.
Listen, if you want to play Sam Show 5 Special on Fight K2. It's got rolled back. Don't play the new Sam Show.
I heard,
listen,
but like,
I'm in France, right? I connected. It took me 30 minutes to connect with a guy from Italy, and it was unplayable. Our countries are right next to each other, dog.
It's terrible. I think one of our locals is going to be running a Sam Show local soon, so I might enter that just for fun, even though I haven't practiced it in like over a year at least. Like I haven't even fought half the new characters at all. Yeah, but it's all good.
Yeah, just get a good counter hit. That's all you need.
Find the plus strengths.
Yeah. So in terms of fighting games, I haven't really been playing a ton of other stuff lately. But I am looking forward to Melty Blood, and I want to play that. I never historically I never competed in any Melty Blood tournaments back in the day, but I did play it casually with friends sometimes, and I think Melty Blood's a really cool game. I really like the battle system, just how it feels to play, the movement and everything. It feels really fluid. Like the Gatling system's really cool too. Yeah. I just hope they add Nero because that's the character I would definitely play. And he hasn't been announced yet, but we'll see. If he doesn't get announced, maybe I'll play like the maids or something. I don't know, but I'm going to try the game out for sure. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, they revealed me and Pont's characters though, so that's good. Kuma and who are you playing? Kohaku,
one of the mates.
Yeah, so Pont likes to play those tricky characters anyway. So
I need to find the Faust-ish character. If I find that, then I'm good.
Nero, I'm telling you, he's got Faust jump H. And he can just combo it into itself like multiple times. Buttons that control like half the screen. He summons things to control space, like the deer and like the puddle.
Exactly. Yep.
He's got like setups. He's got the quick like crow feather projectile thingy.
Yeah, when he gets spaced out, he can just throw the crows at you.
He's really a really good zoning character. He's really cool. Yeah.
Cool stuff. I'll take a look at him as well.
So other than so I would say we all know your history in Plus R, right? You've done a lot of tournaments for Plus R. I've seen you do Frosty Faustings. You've done, the Rocket Wednesdays that we used to do. Only reason why I stopped doing them is because people fell off Plus R because of the Strive hype. But, hopefully we'll bring it back someday, when people get, less hype about Strive. But, you said you were struggling to find your footing in Strive. Do you want to, elaborate on, what issues you feel like you might be having or what it is you feel like you need to work on? What I mean, as far as Strive is concerned?
Yeah. Well, it's a two-parter, right? So I think part of it is how different the game itself is, and the other part is Faust himself. So first, the game, like they said, is designed to kind of start over from scratch, right? It doesn't build off of history, like legacy Guilty Gear in a lot of ways. And they said they were trying to make it so that veteran players don't have an inherent advantage. And I think they achieved that. I feel like the neutral, it feels pretty much like Guilty Gear, but like the in pressure situations, like I think pressure in the old games felt like more like a Marvel style, and this feels more like a Street Fighter V style, where it's like more like shimmies and you're fishing for counter hits from like whiff throws and stuff like that. Was never in Guilty Gear before, like in that way, right? I think the throw system itself being so different really is something I I'm getting used to, but I'm still not. I'm not as good at using it, I guess you can say. My defense, I think in general, is just where I'm having the most problems in that game, because there's just less defensive options in general. Faust doesn't exactly have any great defensive options.
I was gonna say that like defense has been severely nerfed in Strive. Like it feels like when you're holding a lot of pressure, like backdashes are not reliable like how they used to be. You know what I mean?
Backdashes are very different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like you can't just backdash out of certain stuff. You have to backdash either like with the right timing so that the move whiffs, but you know, it's weird, like, because sometimes like the move will still be so active that it'll just smack you out of your backdash anyway.
Yeah, my backdash will end and I'll just get hit anyway after it. Like the window on the amount of invulnerable frames on backdashes, I think seems a lot. I don't know the data on it offhand, but it does seem shorter. Everyone had very different backdashes in the old game, so. But yeah, I think defense, because when I'm playing neutral or whatever, like I think I do pretty well in general, but then it's like once you get me blocking the corner, like I just blow up, like counter like 80% life. Great. So that and the fact that Faust is kind of considered weak by most people. I'm
gonna keep it real. I don't think Faust is weak. I don't.
Really?
Listen. I took the time to lab the shit out of every character, man. I labbed Faust and I was kind of like, this character's got some sauce. He doesn't have as much sauce as the top tiers, but he's not nearly as bad as people say. But I don't play him, so I don't know.
But I feel like the amount of work he has to do to get a lot of the sauce, and plus a lot of it's item dependent. It's like when you have characters that can just do like such big damage off of like almost like anything in neutral, and it's like he has to have very specific situations. Like, and another thing that's really rough is like mix.
Oh yeah.
It's like sometimes it just drops your combo. Like because of the way the move works, it's like 4 hits, and it's like you can change the direction at any point, which just completely changes like the momentum it has and how it safe or unsafe it is, or how it will combo. Like it has to be at a certain distance on a certain hit confirmed. So it's like sometimes I'll go for like a basic combo, which should be like an easy B&B, and it'll just drop because I misjudged slightly, and then you just die. Yeah.
I think I can agree 100% what you're saying. Like you took a lot of words out of my mouth and said like, yeah, that's how I would describe Faust as well. As to say, when it comes back to the bottom, I would say like I put a small asterisk on the bottom tier stuff. I would say potentially fun to play as, but you're going to have to work a lot in order to get those wins. Different from those in the higher tiers. It's on that.
I mean, that's kind of how I feel about the tiers in Strive. It's not that like any character is bad. It's just that there's like a group of characters that have to do barely any work, and then there's another group of characters that have to do some work, and then there's the other group of characters that have to do a lot of work. Like, and I feel like Faust is more of a zoner, since we're talking about like Street Fighter 5 style. Like before, old Faust was he was kind of a zoner, but he was also rush down and aggressive and mix heavy. Like Strive Faust feels like 100% zoner.
Oh, you're correct. Yeah. And I'm known for having more of a rush down style Faust, like compared to a lot of other Fausts. So for me, it's even more of a hard adjustment because I can't rely on my rush down game as much. Like his rush down is just not as oppressive.
Exactly.
His mix-ups are not that nice. Like
he's got some mix, but they're all right. Like it's not like anything to write home about,
Right. And the fact.
Oh no, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and the fact that like they wanted him to be like more of a zoner, but a lot of his pokes just are like not that good. Like if you look at the like hurt boxes, like look at other zoners like Ram or like Axel, and they got these big disjointed buttons, and he doesn't have any of that. Like you look at his boxes, and they're just sad, man.
Yeah, he's got one disjoint, and it doesn't even go that far.
He's got 5H, which is not even like that good of a move. And I think like everybody at least has one, but like there's characters out there who have like multiple ones, and it's like the thing that makes it the most obvious for me is like I was playing Ram on the side too, right? And when you compare them side by side, like what they have in certain situations, like compare her far S to his far S, like she's got this just big disjointed far S. It's 1 frame faster, and it tallies into her like even farther 5H, right? And it's just like, or you compare the super, right? Her super is like instant fast. It's like so damaging that the motion is quarter circle 4 times 2, so you can just mash it and churn it. And then it's like Faust is slower, the motion's harder, the hitbox is worse, and it doesn't wall break. It's like I just don't get how they thought Ram needs all this and Faust like
doesn't need anything. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And I don't want to see everyone get nerfed to hell either.
No.
I want to see the good characters stay good. I just think they can give a little help to like some of the weaker characters to make the game a little more balanced. And because like if you look at a game like Plus R, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone's like, yeah, Plus R had Testament and Zappa and all that. Yeah, they're really busty characters. But even the lowest tier characters in that game have so much grime that you still see them winning tournaments all the time and placing high. And there's some bad matchups. But I feel like overall the gap between the best and worst in a game like that is not so bad because they gave everybody like all kinds of juice, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I just feel like that's kind of what this game needs.
Give Kai back his overhead. Let's just let that be known. Just give Kai back his overhead, dog. Please. All right? Make Fuja Arc an overhead. If you can here's my argument for that. If you can anti-air it, it should be an overhead. Because if you get hit, it's your fault. Like
Kai is not like busted. He could definitely use a little help. Sure. I agree.
Yeah, Kai could be a little bit more busted.
Right.
Anyway, Paul, you got a question?
We'll see how it goes in the future. I would say with that questionable balance patch they talked about. Not sure exactly what they were doing on it, but I agree with what you say, Elvin. If it's similar to like help up these bottom tier characters, like get them a little bit chance, even if it's just one change, it can make a lot of difference.
Yeah, and I think maybe whatever way they decide to do it, I think the damage overall could be toned down just a little bit across the board. Just so people aren't dying in like 2 touches a lot of the time. It's the game is very unforgiving in that regard, right? Even a game like Plus R, it's like a lot of the time you still have a lot more chances to make mistakes. I feel like in this game, it's like you mess up once, you get punished so hard for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I'm starting to kind of miss the whole like multiple interactions that you would have in previous Guilty Gears because like I can understand like a soul combo, like a long combo doing a lot of damage, but like short combos doing like 80% is kind of like, bro, I made one mistake and I just lost for it. Like that's kind of crazy, you know?
It's kind of similar with Xrf also. Just like I can make a mistake more often in here than in Strive, and that's just like if it's just going against Dizzy, Slayer, or even Potemkin, I still feel like okay, I can still make this work. But when it's going into Strive, then it's just like it's the salt. If I make one single mistake that makes it a counter hit, I'm done.
Yeah, it's not very forgiving. And I think that's why you're seeing so many TOs and players. Well, not everybody, but many are pushing for 3 out of 5 the whole way. It's because the game just goes so quick, It's like the rounds are pretty fast a lot of the time. I'm not saying whether or not I feel it needs to be 3 out of 5, but you have been seeing a lot of events do that. So
yeah, but we here are followers of the Church of the Vision. All right. we believe I'm holding up, if you're watching my stream, I'm holding up a book about our French-Algerian War, but we call this book the FGC Bible because I read it in French and no one understands what it says except me and any French people who happen to be in my chat at the time. But yes, this is Daisuke's vision. This is what it is. Gotta hold that 80%, dog. All right, that's it. All right, this is the Church of the Vision. We will not mess with the game. Then I'm capping. Right. I want the damage to be nerfed. Anyway,
so another question we can move on to. This was a new question that we want to put up. Actually, there we're actually also interested in the person we interview as well as players. So one of the questions we can ask you is right now: what is your method of input? What is the type of controller you use, and what kind of controller are you using right now?
Oh, okay. Well, I use a combo Obsidian. So yeah. I've been using this stick for I don't know 3-4 years maybe. Whenever around the time it came out, I got one. They were actually a sponsor for Frosty in the past, so that it was great to have them as a sponsor. But I've used stick pretty much since I started playing XX seriously. So I learned stick in like 2002. Before that, I played pad. And I've had a number of sticks over the years. I used to use the old Namco stick, the yellow and gray one.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
I used to play on that. I used to have I have a couple Horis. I used to play on PS4, like V3, I think is what they're called.
Oh yeah.
and then I had a Mad Catz TE2 as well, and then I switched to this one. Yeah, I still have all those sticks and they all work, but I mostly just play on this Obsidian. It's pretty good.
Do you know this man Leo Cobbs got a TE2 Street Fighter Collector's Edition for $50 in Sweden off eBay because the person didn't know what he had?
Oh, yeah, I think I saw it. Like, someone put it up on the Facebook market for the Swedish FGC, and someone just like, "Oh, I'm selling this thing. Anyone want it for like 500 crowns or like $50?" And he was just like one of those that says, "I sent you a PM." I was just like, "That was quick."
Yeah,
damn, that was someone who sold way too cheap, but it was a good catch for Leo Caps. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was low key jealous, not gonna lie, because I've been trying to. There was a French guy selling TE2s for like €50, and he took them down the day that I was about to buy them. Like I literally saw it one day, and then the next day I was like, okay, I'm actually gonna get one, and then he took them down because then he sent me a message. You said I found out how much they were worth. So I was like,
oh man.
I was like,
just missed it. That sucks.
That's a shame. But yeah, it's really cool to hear that you also enjoy sticks battles and stuff like that, and that you enjoy Kwamba. It's quite interesting, and a lot of people have been going through many of those directions. So that's a cool stick you got, bro. I would say.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one. All right, let's go even further back in the day. How was a baby ElvenShadow get into fighting games? How does that happen?
Oh, okay. Let's see. I don't remember how old I was, but whatever year it was that Street Fighter 2 World Warrior came out on Super Nintendo is when I got into fighting games. Because
it's way back.
I remember getting the game and I'd just play it at home. My dad used to play with me a little bit.
Nice.
And then I'd play with my friends and my brothers and stuff. And then, I got other fighting games on Super Nintendo, Mortal Kombat games, and I remember I got Killer Instinct and Clay Fighter and all those games. And I had a Genesis as well, so I had fighting games on there. And and then as I got older, I eventually started going to arcades, and it was around the days when like Marvel 2 and CVS 2 were like the big games, right? I would go to arcades fairly often, and I would play those games, and I'd play like ST, and I'd play like whatever. I dabbled in a little bit of everything back then, and I was never very like great at any of those games. Like, you didn't see me winning tournaments for any of that, but I just had fun playing. And it wasn't until Guilty Gear that I really started like grinding and just like entering tournaments and like every day just playing like hours with like a group of people that, also got into the game with me around the same time. Some of them are still playing, some are not, but like, yeah, we really used to just grind the hell out of that game. So yeah, I mean, I've dabbled in just about not every fighting game ever, but I've played a lot of them. It's just that I never really seriously got great at anything besides Guilty Gear. I think the closest game that I was good at would maybe be Street Fighter 4. I played Rose in Street Fighter 4, and the reason why is because when I was living in Japan and I was mostly playing Accent Core, right? There was no net play for that game, right? And I lived in the countryside in this like small ski town with like 2-3 hours from Tokyo. So in the weekdays, I couldn't play fighting games. There was no one to play with. So that's why I picked up Street Fighter 4, because it had net play. And in Japan, even with the delayed based net play, it's such a small area with really good internet that it felt fine, good enough, right? Better than what we have to deal with here. So I was able to get Street Fighter 4 just grinding on weeknights at home when and so as a result, I guess I'm all right at that game.
Nice.
Good stuff.
So have you ever tried to like become a pro player before the whole tournament organizing thing went down? Was that like one of your goals, or were you just like entering tournaments just because you were just so into Guilty Gear?
Oh, well, I love tournaments and I love competing. And so, yeah, I mean, I've always been on that grind, just trying to play as much tournaments as I can. And it's kind of the motivation, like I said, for why I run them, because I like playing in them.
Oh,
I like to try to win my own tournaments. So
yeah, I've seen it. I've seen the VODs, man. This man like, yo, I'm about to win this prize bonus. Let's go.
Yeah. People are saying I'm Shang Tsunging my events and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. All right, Pont in chat, do you guys have any questions for ElvenShadow before first to 3 and get washed? That's a tradition. The commentators get washed on this show.
Yeah, and then we give them the special role for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see.
We'll see, exactly. We can actually go look into the future, actually, since that you've seen that Strive goes into a different direction, and you've seen that it's been doing so really well with its sales. Do you think more other game developers in the future might actually go like, "Oh, hey, we have this franchise. Let's make a fighting game," and then trying to release it? Do you think many more get the idea, or do you feel like it's still remaining a niche genre at the moment?
Oh, we're already sort of seeing that, right? I mean, there's a lot of new franchises that have come out, like Dragon Ball, had
Yeah.
fighting games, I guess, before, but not ones that people really played seriously. And you have that new Dungeon Fighter coming out, and there's the Project L going on it's coming out. And so yeah, I mean, it seems like there's just a lot of fighting games out there. There's just all kinds of fighting games coming out. There's just so many these days. It's hard to like pick a list of like 20,
It
30
is.
games to run in a major because you have to cut so many still,
Yeah, it's
Um,
like a new golden age for fighting games. Like I feel like so many new. It's kind of it reminds me of that Street Fighter era, Street Fighter 4 era, where like a bunch of people got into the FGC off of the hype of Street Fighter 4,
Yeah.
or Street Fighter Third Strike or whatever. It kind of feels like that with Strive, and now the floodgates have opened. There's going to be so many new games.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I think I mean, Strive's success has a lot to do with the rollback netcode. And I think if games really want to get popular, when like new games coming out, a lot of people are not even going to try them unless there's rollback. So
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
real talk.
absolutely.
yeah, so I'm glad Melty's going to have it. And I just hope all the new projects that are being developed right now are also now going to try and use it,
I hope so. I'm
Absolutely,
hoping for
absolutely.
KOF to have rollback because I've been wanting to play a KOF for a while. And
Yeah, I hope it does.
I like the way KOF 13 looks, but the netcode is trash, and I kind of
True
don't
that.
like the way 2002 looks, so that's why I don't play that. But we got 2 questions in chat right now. What's the moment in your fighting game career that will stick with you and be dear to your heart till the end of time?
Oh man. There's a few. I think winning Combo Breaker 2015 was a huge moment for me. Also winning Frosty that year because I lost my first match in the entire tournament, and then I
Ooh.
ran it back and fought the guy who beat me round 1 in grand finals and reset it 6-1.
Ooh, damn.
Let that
And
be
then
a
it was
lesson, guys. Don't rage quit just because you get 1-0'd in round 1. People do that shit all the time in my tournaments, bro. They just
Oh,
dip.
yeah.
Yeah, they lose
uh,
their first game and they just dip. No, don't dip. You never know.
The
yeah,
blues,
you
the
never
losers
know.
bracket, the losers bracket will be a bloody mess, but that doesn't mean that you will be the one spilling your blood. So
Exactly.
keep that in
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it also felt good when I won Evo 2008, but that was just a side tournament. That was the year. That was the year Axe and Core didn't make it the main lineup for the first time. Like they didn't
Oh,
have it, but we still had
Oh,
like 100-something players show up, and I managed to win that. And grand finals was me and Black Snake, who's my main training partner. So that
ooh,
was a
Black
lot of fun
Snake.
too.
Nice. Have you tried Hitbox or any variant of?
Not really. I've considered maybe trying it. I guess I just don't feel a huge motivation to. I know there's a lot of advantages to it, but I feel like I do okay on stick. I don't know. If someone gave me a hitbox, I'd be like, yeah, maybe I'll try, but I just don't feel the need to go out of my way to like learn it, I guess, at this point.
oh
You
yeah.
hear that Hitbox? Give this man a Hitbox.
I can agree with that. It's just like similar to like when you pick up a stick in general as well. When you start up with a stick, it's like it's going back to like riding a bicycle for the absolute first time. It's just like you have a lot of things to keep in mind of until you get really used to it.
Yeah, I think my execution for the most part is like pretty much fine, and I don't really suffer from using the stick much. I don't get a lot of misinputs, so
Mhm.
I think I'm in an okay spot in terms of controllers. Yeah, I
That's
tried to
good stuff.
play Strive on pad actually at first because uh when we were playing the betas, I went back to plus R and my muscle memory got all messed up. My wires were
Yeah.
all
Oh
crossed.
no.
I'm like, maybe I can just play on pad and that way my muscle memory won't get as messed up. But then I tried a few matches. I'm like, nah, I can't do this anymore. I haven't played pad in so long. My thumb's getting all tired from trying to dash and stuff. And I'm just like, I'm just definitely not as good. I'm just like, forget it. I've gotten better at adjusting between the two games now, though. That's another reason why I like to play plus R at least once a week, so I can still train my brain to like switch between the games. And I've gotten better at controlling that. I actually played a local just this past Friday where they were running Strive, and someone had a plus R side tournament, and I ended up playing both games, jumping back and forth, and I actually did okay in terms of execution, so it wasn't that bad. I definitely tried to throw with Dust a couple times in plus R, I think, but aside from that, it wasn't too bad.
Cool.
What's crazy is that same thing for me. I remember when I first started playing Strive, and then I went back to plus R, and it's I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, I literally been playing plus R for like 500 hours at that point. And as you play Strive for 1 week and then you go back and it's like everything is just fucking jumbled and discombobulated. You're trying to do Strive stuff in plus R and you just forget everything. I haven't touched plus R since. Like, every time I go back, I've completely forgotten everything. Like, I would have to go back in the lab and relearn all that shit. It's so weird because they're two different characters. Like, Kai plus R, Kai Strive are completely different.
Oh yeah,
but it's like, I guess it's because of your mind. It's like, this is Kai, right? So, or this is your character. So you try to do the same stuff and it doesn't work. But it's very smart that you keep training the plus R so you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's not completely new for me because I was playing Exerd and plus R at big events when they would have brackets for both at the same time as well. And I did have some issues with that sometimes, but this is even like more of a drastic difference.
Absolutely much different from each other. So it becomes, I agree with that. Similar to me when I do Open Labs and Exert, it's just like, wait, that was a combo in Strive. I wasn't supposed to do that.
Yeah, exactly. So I have one more question, what is your worst matchup across all of them?
Depends on the Guilty Gear.
Okay,
it really does.
All right, let's start with XX.
Which version?
Let's start with XX or Accent Core.
Accent Core? Well, okay, in regular Accent Core, like, I would say in both. Yeah, in regular Accent Core, it's definitely May and Baiken. I hate fighting them. And I also hate fighting them in plus R. But in plus R, Zappa is also definitely one of my worst. Just Sword alone just makes things so hard. Yeah, in Rev 2, Jacko in Elfelt, I think I hate fighting the most. And in Strive, definitely Axel and Soul. May is rough. Like,
yeah, May is very
Geo's
rough.
Chip is very rough.
Yeah,
there's a lot of rough matchups in that game for Faust.
Yeah.
True that.
All right,
we have one more from the community actually in the chat. Do you have a player that you would consider to be your rival?
A player I would consider to be my rival. Let's see. There's maybe a few throughout the years that I could name. Well, I mentioned how in Accent Core, May was always really hard.
Yeah.
And so the one player who always would just destroy me was not Kazunoko. Well, he used to destroy me too, in a way. But the one I was gonna say, man, why am I drawing a blank? May, Kadako, that's it. Kadako, he was just like untouchable for me back in the day. So yeah, he was like my demon in the early days. I could do better against him in Exerd, but in plus R in Accent Core, it was always really rough.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people used to try and like kind of paint this rivalry picture of me and GC Yoshi in Exerd because of the whole like him beating our team to qualify for our Arc Revo and and then we fought each other so many times since then in tournaments. So it's like, yeah, people would meme about it. So that's kind of, I guess
GC Yoshi is now your rival. I guess the community says so.
Well, people made that narrative, so I guess sure. I mean, I don't even have anything, like I don't have any like strong desire. Like, I gotta beat GC,
Yeah.
But I do hate fighting Bedman. I will say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I mean, I guess like Black Snake kind of because he's like my main trading partner over the years for the most part. So it's like always a challenge. Like the Chicago Classic is called the Chicago Classic for a reason. So
yeah, facts.
Yeah,
very nice. Kind of reminds me also a little bit to our tournament that we had on Rockin' Wednesdays that you joined us. You always came to the finale versus Lotte Leon, who played this very dangerous Potemkin. Did you feel like
or
this was a moment or Testament? Did you feel like, besides the disconnections from the game server, did you feel like this Lotte Leon proved to be a very hard rival, or player to go against.
He was your
I just
EU
tested
Yeah,
out
rival.
no,
Potemkin.
yeah, he's
He's-
definitely tough. I do remember. I think there was 3 tournaments entered, and he did beat me in one of the 3. And yeah, it was really rough. Like he was adapting very well. He's very smart. And I guess I would kind of have to say maybe Case K is a rival of mine now after that whole, that whole 25 versus 25. I mean, he's the guy to beat, right? So yeah, I have not fought him since that day. But
I
do plan
remember
to
that. That was
fight him again.
so close. I was in the chat
Yeah.
during that. I was like, no, it's so close. But yeah, it ended up with him. Didn't he like do like some corner shenanigans and just like completely like block string you out? I think towards the end, if I'm remembering
Yeah,
correctly.
he locked me
Very good.
down with curse, and I just couldn't get out. And I got perfected.
Yeah.
Damn.
But
Yeah.
I was in the chat. I was rooting for you.
Yeah, I was blocking for like forever, and eventually I got opened up. It's just a testament round. It happens, But
Oh,
when
yeah.
it's first to one, it's rough, It's like I've played against him many times, and I've taken my fair share of games against him. It's just like that one and done when it counts,
Yeah, exactly.
He got me. He got me good. So what can I say?
True that. True
Real
that.
talk.
I'll get him next time.
All right, are we
Good stuff.
ready for that young first to 3 life, young Pont?
I think we can do that. Yeah.
All right, let me boot up the game real quick. I'll make the room.
We're playing on PC, right?
Of course.
Good,
Yep.
good. Say that, yeah. All right,
Of course. What else would we
Yeah.
play on? Like, come on.
I pretty much only play on PS4 if I'm in a PS4 tournament. Otherwise, I'm
Yeah.
always on PC. So
Nice.
Yeah, I have a PlayStation sitting here on my desk. It just charges my phone. So it's hooked up to the stream setup and everything. I got the capture card on it, and I can switch to it at any time. But nope, I just charge my phone. All right, play on Switch. Nah. All right,
Oh,
so I gotta fight the server boss. So I'm gonna switch screens real quick. You guys are gonna see the server boss.
Yep.
Pawn,
I'm
you
also
wanna
facing the server boss.
Pawn, you wanna go first?
Yeah, sure. I can do that.
Awesome. Okay, let me update the card. So Pawn, you're gonna be player 1.
Okay.
And ElvenShadow could be player 2. Please don't make me switch the names because I won't. Alright, hold on a second. Let me pick up my fight stick. I'm using my modded Razer Panther Evo. It
How's that
actually
working for you?
it's nice, It broke a while ago, and I just found out that I could just swap out the PCB because they glued everything down to the Razer PCB, so you couldn't like fix it, So I had to just rip out the whole PCB and get another one.
There we go.
I don't think I've ever actually tried a Razer product.
Yeah, don't.
No? You don't recommend it? Oh.
No, don't. Mm-mm.
It's gonna be a tough time.
I have a Nikon Daija, which is really nice as well. But since I fixed my Razer Panthera, that was like my first stick, so I'm back to this. But my Nikon's sitting on my shelf. I use that for the PlayStation now.
Oh, okay.
If I ever play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's good to have options. I agree, and that was the reason I also felt the same thing on this Venom stick, that I might be getting a new one as well. So Nikon Daija was one of those that actually caught my attention, but I might actually go for something custom built as well.
Nice.
With a Brook adapter as well, so that should be a good direction to go.
What's that brand? Furin Arcade? They make really good sticks, and they're not even that expensive. Like, they're so beautiful looking. They're like all acrylic, 3D printed, I think, or something like that. So yeah, they're super nice.
Absolutely.
I was definitely thinking about getting one of those.
It's true story. Like, you really want to, you can either like just get a stick, you just I just want to play on a stick, or some of them just like wants to show off a little bit. And that's when you go custom built, where you just like take a specific case that goes for it.
Listen, when the locals open up here in Toulouse, I'm taking my Nikon. I'm gonna put that art that Cawthorn made of Kai with Greed Sever. Yeah, we had someone in our chat make a fight stick art of Kai. Like, she painted it up and everything. It's super nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like she has it like so you can size it for all whatchamacallits formats or whatever.
Yeah.
Hori just announced their PS5 sticks. Yeah, they look kind of ugly though, not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah, those sticks are kind of dripless.
Hori. PS5 stick.
All right, I'm still fighting the server boss, by the way.
Yeah, we'll wait. No problem.
I'm gonna hit y'all with the room code in 2 seconds.
We're talking about the fighting edge, maybe, because that one is practical in some cases. It's very small, thick.
Oh yeah, the fighting edge is nice. The fighting
edge,
edge,
actually.
They have a PS5 version of that?
Yeah, it looks. I saw the Amazon link, and it seems like it does.
Okay, cool.
Stainless steel, nice coverage, and also nice places where you can hold it from the side like this, which makes it much more enjoyable to have and carry around.
Cool. Do most PS4 sticks work on PS5?
Not sure.
I don't think so.
This becomes the big conclusion, because if you were to go and play on PlayStation 5, then it's time to upgrade, maybe to get a Nikon Daija, I think, and also maybe that Ori Fighting Edge, maybe.
Oh, I don't have one, so
Yeah, otherwise just go completely custom and just rip out the old PCB and just replace it with a broken. Either way, we'll see what happens in the future. Maybe Sony will get some neurons into their system and then realize, oh hey, we should maybe let you be able to use a PlayStation 3 controller as well.
Yeah,
good work.
Nice. I mean, you could use PS3 sticks on PS4. Why can't
Exactly.
All right, guys. The code is AJ.
I already made one.
Oh, rip. All right.
I PM'd you the code.
Yeah. All right. I'll just leave my house then and into your house.
Come to my house.
Shinblade says, "What's up?" By the way, ElvenShadow.
Oh, what up?
Yeah, I'm sure you know the god Shinblade himself.
I was there at that at
Put
the
some money on me.
What was it? Kumite in Tennessee. Yeah.
Yeah, put some money on me.
I won that tournament.
Oh.
Like that moment was hilarious. Yeah.
Well, we got some lore. We got some lore connections here. All right, let me into your room after you make me make my own room.
Yeah. We can also talk about that too, since we're waiting. So, Jacko just got announced, so to say.
Yep.
Have any thoughts on, since you have a hard time against Jacko and Xer, do you feel like you're going to still feel the same here in Strive against going against Jacko here? Or do you feel like seems different?
Well, so I figured, she's a shoo-in to get put in the game as a playable character, considering how heavily she's featured in the story, right? So I was like, I really hope they redesign her like they did with Ram, where she's kind of a new character, and they did, it looks like. I mean, obviously, we don't know everything yet. We've seen bits and pieces, but based on the small amount of footage I've seen, she looks different enough to where I'm hopeful that she won't be as annoying to fight. But I don't know enough yet to really make any good comments. We don't really have a lot of info on what she does. But, I hope she's cool and fun to fight against, and she looks interesting. So we'll see. She looks a lot like a mix of Old Jacko and Venom almost.
Yeah, that's what I was telling folks. Is she's literally like Strive Venom. Paul, you set the room to first to 3, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
So it's rematch, so we can do our first to 3 sets.
Cool. All right. I'll be screaming in your ears, commentating. So.
All right.
All right, up here we got the level 500 Ponteronten Falls versus the level 1200 ElvenShadow. I thought you didn't even play this game, dog. Like level 1200 Strive.
Not that high. RF's out there with his 3000 level Faust.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Let's go. So we're gonna see the false mirror. ElvenShadow's going. Ponteronten needs to play his senpai over here. So
very well.
Purple false is Pont. Green false is Elven. All right, guys.
Thanks for not stealing my code.
No problem.
Oh,
I saw it. I was just like, that's Elven. I can't take it.
He's always purple. Always purple. False.
Yeah. I mean, I stole Naga's pink when I would play the Nixer, so.
Yeah. All right, so let's see who's gonna get the first hit here. We all know that false has very good round start buttons. Ponteronten gets that jump in. Gets the knockdown, throws out the hammer, and that's going to be a nice bomb back to start us off. Okay, I like the items. Uh-oh. All right, super jumps over the bomb. Good blocks, nice backdash. Into the teleport, that's going to be a hard punish on the mix. Both of these guys reading each other very, very well right now. Pont with the combos. Okay, I see you. That doesn't work on ElvenShadow, Pont. That only works on me. Oh, I thought that was definitely going to be a grab. Ooh. tried to throw punish the mix, or going my way, or whatever the fuck it's called nowadays.
Oh, nice.
That was sick. All right, so that's 1 round for ElvenShadow to start us off. Uh-oh. Wake up, forward dash, get sniped by the scalpel pull into the home run. Meteors are out, guard break, mix up. Ooh, but doesn't get a good item, but the jump 2K forces Ponteronten to come off his burst, and that's going to be a punish on the up teleport. Hammers are out. Oki situation. Ponteronten is the punish. Run up throw on the teleport PRC mix up. Alright, Pont gets his own trumpet, forcing ElvenShadow to jump and throw a bomb back. These 6Hs are flying today.
Nice.
That's going to be 1 point for ElvenShadow to start us off. By the way, I am keeping score on the screen. And they say false is never top 2, Kappa. Listen, false versus false is a 10-0 matchup. Just saying. Alright, ElvenShadow does have the afro, but not giving Ponteronten an opportunity to use the jump dust mix-up. Very nice awareness of the bomb. Wake up throw, though, from Ponteronten. ElvenShadow dashing a little bit too far there, and that's going to be a goal burst on mix into the item super. Big counter hit. Oh, that's going to be a home run. Ooh, we don't burst those? We don't burst those, Pont?
I was going to block it
for the right moments.
I was going to block it.
Nice cross-up.
Ooh, meaty low. Gonna pick up the trumpet. Let's go. Hey, that's so smart. Okay, nice jump in right now. ElvenShadow being very rushed downy. You heard it in his interview. Oh my gosh. The domination. Yo, Pont running up full screen. That's gangster. Ooh, that was actually smart with the 6B. Shutting it down, and that looks like it's going to be another game for Senpai ElvenShadow. On Pont, I believe. Duel 1. The commentators have to win 1 first 3 on our podcast. Ooh, run up 6B, but gets sniped by the mix. Luckily. Hold up. Lots of items coming out from ElvenShadow. Misses the throw. He's going to get bursted off as well. Very nice scalpel pull. Wake up throw from Pont. Gets the corner position. Let's see what he does with it. Elven does have meter. Doesn't matter. Proximity grab. Alright, play.
Oh, nice.
How does it feel to get hit with the safety leg, Pont? How does it feel?
I don't know.
Not gonna lie, False looking kind of top 1 right now. Strive, man. Every character can look top 1. Ooh, nice combo. Let's go. Pont's gonna burst. At the end of it, jumps over the scalpel pull. Doesn't get to confirm. Gets the 6B though on the bomb bag. Nice wake up throw and eats the banana. Pont is gonna regain some health. He does have meter. Nice, snipes the backdash with the 5H, but Pont keeps getting opened up by going my way. Whatever the fuck it's called. Oh no. Pont, I believe. YRC. Oh, the mini falls.
Yeah, that was rough. I had a full bar and the mini fasts. Yeah.
It's a lot to take in, so to say.
Yeah, but GG's though. That was a good set.
GG's. It was. Absolutely. That was some more defensive on my end, so awesome to play against you, man.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right,
the mirror match is interesting.
Yeah,
all right, let me try to take my wash Kai over here real quick. All right, let's go. I believe in the heart of the cards. I believe in the heart of my plus frames. Let's see.
Got a small comment from viewers here. Bring back Faust. What are those, boy hand from?
Yeah, the karate chop.
Exactly.
Yeah, give me force break chop, please.
Please give it to us. We need it, Daisuke. We need to tell our opponents one way or another, sit your ass down, boy. Right, here we go. Just on the left side going as Kai. Shout on the right. Going crazy amount of damage going right now. Juste going a lot of defensive right now, and Elven is just eating them up, getting a wall break with positive attention there. Way good counter there from Juste. However, he gets hit by another counter, dealing more damage in that situation, and it's enough to kill. No breaking the wall. Getting something from Duel 2 here. Good opening right now from Elven. Keeping a little bit deep way right now because he really wants to be careful because he might have gotten the message from Juste that he's always plus in certain regards. Good approach, good on just standing, and good picking up on the items he gets. Doesn't care if he gets the afro, if he gets the first strike. That is good for Elven. Does the best he can right now to get some breathing space.
Okay,
but
that's just
Elven
data.
has other plans. Very tight.
Alright, that was just data, dog.
That was data gathering. The download is complete.
Yeah,
So
that was complete. I better watch out now.
Good pressure right now. Elven keeping a little bit of distance right now, trying to understand if Juste has things up his sleeves. Nice round up, bro. See if he can get more stuff going in there. Nice, 6 heavy. Really going crazy with the Iris right now. Juste trying to find an opening. Good use of the burst, trying to get some more screen space. Trying to use projectiles. Whips his DP. Gets punished heavily. Good 2-piece. Very good DP right there. ElvenShadow just spawns with another throw. And was just about to use the Roman cancel as well, just in case he would still have some damage health. I would say it's hard. Good pressure from Juste, but have a good burst from Elven. Very nice invisibility frames right there from Juste. Getting a good amount of strikes right now. Getting really close right now with a lot of damage. Surprising ElvenShadow with a lot of pokes. Good overhead approach, good block string. Elven trying out some new gear. I'm taking notes here. Really good overhead approach right there, using his minions. Juste going with a really good projectile RC combo. Gets a few more strikes on Elven, making him really dangerously close. Oh man! A lot of things happening.
Nice.
Right
Oh my god, what the fuck is going on?
Faust stuff is going on.
I can only that's just as you said, Meta. Just Faust things.
Listen, those 2 last games was just data, dog.
All right.
I know, you got me. You got me.
Bruh.
Gets the first 2K right there. Get Weber whips his snip, snip, snip. See how this would go. Nice anti-air from Juste. Good chaos counter from both players right there. Getting the secret edge right there. Going across right there from there. Gets hit by the throw.
Can't back that shot.
And then Elven going ham with the hammers. You could have had an infinite there. Krakatoa is turning right now. He'd be sleeping right now. Very nice snip, surprise on Juste. Let's see what else.
Oh, the hard to bait. Nice.
Oh, damn! Just being in a tight spot right now. His download will have to be finished now so he can make that 0-3 comeback. Very good counter hits right now, punishes, but ElvenShadow is one step ahead of it. He's been reading up on Kai as well. Very nice new Peter up there. 6 people. Good pressure. Any surprises wolves that ElvenShadow is doing right now on Juste, which even makes him feel outmatched.
Uh-oh. Double fire.
Double flaming afros, and therefore both it gets blocked by Juste, but ElvenShadow sadly has to take it. Very good poking advantage right now. Elven is doing right now, making sure that Juste gets punished for his ideas.
Nice.
And at the same time,
Whew, GG's.
locks us up. Well played, well played, absolutely.
GG's, very
I'm
fun.
sure next time your download will be already.
It'll take me like 50 more games, but yeah, eventually the download will be there, 100%.
What if it's you're finished downloading it, but you need to unzip the whole thing? so you can
That's
like
good.
get
Yeah,
a
I
good
got.
understanding. Really.
Yeah, you see, I had to download.
Yeah.
But you know, like I had to unzip it, and my computer's slow. You know, and then I had to mount it to a CD drive,
and then decrypt it, and then
exactly.
that's those things take a lot of time. So you need to have a few more matches just in case.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, still best Kai out here. Sorry, no, I'm capping. Anyway, thanks for the games. Thanks for the interview. Pont, you got anything else you want to say before I go order myself some food and we do our nightly Strive lobbies? Oh yeah, by the way, we do Discord lobbies here at ElvenShadow. You're always welcome to hop in and play games. Playing Strive, we're playing Breakers, Sam Show, Vampire,
Windjammers.
Yeah, Windjammers, anything. You know.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever you want to come through, you're always welcome. Pont, is there anything else you want to end on, real quick?
Pleasure meeting you again, dude. I'm playing a few more matches. That stuff gave me some more interesting ideas, so to say, and also tells me that yes, you can go as bananas as you did in Excerpt. Don't worry about it.
All right, ElvenShadow, you want to end with anything?
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It was a lot of fun, and keep running events. Really appreciate it. Seeing people out there, consistently running tournaments and doing it well. So thank you guys.
Appreciate that. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming through. Chat, give Elvin a round of applause for coming through. I'm gonna put this up on YouTube probably this week, and I'll tweet it. I'll at you when it's up. Okay. So yeah, other than that, that's about it, guys. We're out. We're hopping off.
All right.
Peace.
See you guys. Thank you.